plus to reduce toll rates. Government ready to top up allocation for E-Tunai Rakyat initiative. Good evening. Thanks for joining us, and you're watching News on 2 with me, Mohammed Amin Carlos. The government has decided not to sell Project Lebuh Raya Utara Selatan or Plus Malaysia Berhad, but the concessionaire will have to reduce the toll rates. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the decision was made unanimously by the Cabinet after reviewing all bids made by private corporations.
Tun Dr. Mahathir also said Plus would be given a 20-year extension of the toll concession. He added that people need not worry about the 20-year extension of the toll concession on Plus, as the reduced flat rate when compared against future ringgit rates will be minimal. He said this is to reduce the cost of living borne by the Rakyat.
We have studied all the bids made by the private sector and also by Khazanah, and in the end we decided that the best way is not to sell Plus to anybody, but to retain it with Khazanah and KWSP. So they will have to reduce the toll rate by 18%. But please remember that 18% fixed at this rate.
The Premier said the 18% reduction would commence this year but did not give details. He also said that while traffic may increase, the ringgit's purchasing power is not very strong, therefore toll earnings are not as much as publicly perceived. Khazanah owns a 51% stake in Plus, while EPF holds the remaining 49%.
Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the free breakfast program, or PSP, at primary schools will proceed as planned beginning 20th January. However, Tun Dr. Mahathir, who is also acting Education Minister, said the program will only focus on students from underprivileged families.
Teruskan program yang ada sekarang yang kepada mereka yang tidak mampu, tetapi untuk memberi saran berbagi kepada semua, bermakna bahawa mereka yang ada duit, yang kaya, yang makan di rumah banyak pun dapat juga. It's not fair.
The first phase of the PSP implementation will involve 100 primary schools. It will benefit 37,000 pupils, with the cost of implementation estimated at 22 million ringgit.
And here's some good news. Now, following overwhelming response to the E-Tunai Rakyat program since its introduction yesterday, the government is prepared to allocate additional allocation if the initial 450 million ringgit is inadequate. While stating this, Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng also gave his assurance that the government would never limit the e-cash handout program if, at all, the application received exceeds the target set.
The E-Tunai Rakyat program have initially targeted 15 million applicants throughout the country.
1 million means how much? 30 million, isn't it? So itulah sebabnya saya sebut tadi, sekiranya ada tambahan, kalau ada tambahan pun lebih-lebih 1 juta saja. So kita ada ruang untuk tambah dan akan juga disusuli oleh pengendali syarikat pengendali swasta e-wallet.
Meanwhile, Lim Guan Eng also assured the people that the government will not divulge personal data information of the E-Tunai applicants to any third parties. He added that the government is not seeking any advantage through this initiative, but instead gives more priority to the welfare of the people.
Kerana itu kita amat tegas dan ketat tentang perkara ini, kerana kita ada personal disclosure requirements. So we have the PDA, this PDA Act lah, Personal Disclosure Act. So ini hanya untuk dikongsikan kepada kerajaan dan tidak kepada syarikat.
He said this to reporters after visiting the morning market at Jalan SS2, Petaling Jaya, to check on the implementation and usage of the e-cash. As of 10 p.m. last night, out of 380,000 e-Tunai applications, 320,000 have been approved. Over 10 million ringgit transactions were also recorded on the first day of the e-Tunai Rakyat program.
The report on the discovery of human trafficking camps and mass graves in Wang Kalian by the Royal Commission of Inquiry, or RCI, will be tabled at the Cabinet meeting next week. While speaking at a press conference in Putrajaya, Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the report had earlier been presented to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al Mustafa Billah Shah.
Laporan RCI itu telah pun siap dan bawa pada Agong, dah serah pada kita, ya. Cuma kita nak maklum pada kabinet aja, itu saja belum putus. Next week, minggu depan, okay. SUB dah maklum, kita akan bentang untuk minggu depan, tapi semua laporan itu dah siap dan nanti kalau kabinet bersetuju, kita akan benarkan untuk dia dibaca oleh awam.
After 17 days of inquiry involving 48 witnesses, RCI presented its findings and suggestions to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong in September last year. In May 2015, police discovered 139 graves in 28 human trafficking camps in the jungles of Bukit Wang, Burma, in Wang Kalian, Perlis, bordering Malaysia, Thailand.
The Home Ministry has completed 95% of its reviews to amend the Security Offences for Special Measures Act, or SOSMA 2012. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the ministry has also begun to review other relevant acts like Sedition Act 1948, Prevention of Crime Act 1959, Drugs Dependent Act for Treatment and Rehabilitation, Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants, or known as ATIPSOM 2007 Act, to see if it should be amended or repealed.
Sebahagiannya mungkin kita akan selesaikan, macam contoh SOSMA yang hampir saya fikir 95% telah siap, tetapi bagaimana yang diketahui ada beberapa lagi perkara yang perlu kita halusi. Jemaah Menteri pun telah minta kita buat begitu. Kita ambil kira pandangan daripada Parliamentary Select Committee. Di samping itu badan-badan yang berkepentingan ataupun stakeholders.
The review of the law needed to be carried out as instructed by the Cabinet, as it was also one of the Pakatan Harapan's election manifesto. Speaking in Putrajaya, he said the ministry had also formed a committee to review any laws deemed to be irrational, as parts of the legislation were seen to be draconian and against human rights.
On another matter, Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who is also Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia, or Bersatu President, said the party's Supreme Council members will convene a meeting tomorrow to discuss on the status of Dengkil Assemblyman Adhivshan Abdullah following his arrest for alleged drug abuse on 13th January.
Itu nanti akan bincang mesyuarat kita besok, ada mesyuarat majlis tertinggi yang dipersilakan oleh Tun. Ya, secara rasminya kita akan bincang di situ. Jadi tunggu je lah.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin added that he will leave the police to investigate the matter. Commenting further, he said the party has its own ethics and discipline guidelines before deciding on the appropriate actions to be taken on any of its members found guilty of any offences. Meanwhile, Bersatu Armada Chief Syed Sadiq Syed Abdul Rahman, in a media statement, informed that Adhivshan will be suspended from his Selangor Armada Chief position with immediate effect.
The National Strategic Plan for Addressing the Causes of Underage Marriage has been launched today. The plan will be implemented over a period of 5 years until 2025, while hoping to end the ongoing practice of marriages with minors.
Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, when launching the plan, said the plan covers not only Muslim marriages under the Sharia courts, but also non-Muslim and traditional marriages involving the Orang Asli in the peninsula and the natives in Sabah and Sarawak. It outlined issues relating to law, family, support system, education, health and awareness.
Sehubungan itu, punca-punca ini akan ditangani melalui perubahan dasar, penambahbaikan perundangan dan pelaksanaan program dan aktiviti kesedaran. Plan ini menaungkan 7 objektif, 17 strategi serta 58 program dan tindakan bagi menangani punca-punca tersebut dalam tempoh 5 tahun yang akan datang. Sebanyak 61 agensi akan terlibat sebagai agensi pelaksana bagi pelbagai program jangka pendek, sederhana dan panjang. Dan tujuan utama program adalah dirancang untuk meningkat kesedaran, mengubah persepsi dan stigma yang dikaitkan dengan isu perkahwinan bawah umur di kalangan masyarakat kita.
Well, ahead of the Kimanis parliamentary by-election this Saturday, Election Commission Chairman Dato' Azhar Azizan Harun, in a statement, reminded the voters to come out early to exercise their rights. Well, he said the voting time is from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
A total of 29,619 voters are eligible to vote in the Kimanis by-election this Saturday. 9 early voters had cast their votes on 14th January, while another 35 are postal and absent voters. Voters who have received the voter's card or already know their voting information are advised to proceed to their respective polling streams on polling day, while voters who did not receive the voter's card are advised to check on their details before polling day. The checks could be made through the EC portal at pangundi.spr.gov.my, use the My SPRM Samak application, or call the EC hotline at 03-8892-7018. Voters are also advised to bring their identification card and voter's card to check their polling details. Voters are also advised not to hand over their identity cards to anyone other than the EC staff on duty.
Well, coming up, Chinese New Year Integrated Ops begins Saturday until 1st February. And the news continues. The Transport Ministry today launched its Road Safety Campaign and Integrated Ops, which starts this Saturday until 1st February in conjunction with the Chinese New Year. Its Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said the campaign themed Pandu Cermat, Sampai Selamat, or Drive Carefully, Arrive Safely, would be conducted in concert with the police's Ops Selamat.
Other agencies and departments involved in the campaign and integrated ops are the Road Transport Department, RTD, the Road Safety Department, JKJR, the Civil Defence Force, the Fire Department, the Ministry of Health, the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research, MEROS, and highway concession companies. Speaking at the launch of the national-level Road Safety Campaign and integrated ops at the Tabah Rest and Recreation Area today, Loke said 2,000 RTD personnel would be involved in this nationwide operation, and the pre-ops was from 11 January until tomorrow. He added that the pre-ops are currently being conducted at bus terminals to ensure the vehicles are roadworthy.
Itu yang saya katakan tadi, kita akan menggunakan pendekatan spot check dan samaran. Iaitu kita tidak akan bagi tahu bila kita akan adakan operasi itu. Jadi pegawai-pegawai JBJ akan menyamar sebagai penumpang. Akan naik bas, tengok adakah mereka memadu dengan laju dan sebagainya.
Loke said the ministry also issued warnings to heavy vehicle users against using the highways during the Chinese New Year period, adding that the warning was effective for 23rd, 24th, 27th and 28th January.
Well, a total of 37,705 closed-circuit television cameras, or CCTVs, have been installed under PDRM's Safe Cam Partnership campaign since 2012.
The installation of the CCTVs involved 3,226 private premises and factories that have participated in the campaign nationwide. Bukit Aman Crime Prevention and Community Safety Department Director Dato' Zainal Abidin Kasim said CCTV footage had been crucial in solving the crime cases. He added the campaign has helped the police to prevent crime through the CCTV's shared footage from the participating premises.
181 illegal immigrants from the Philippines were chased out of the country yesterday. And this was the National Security Council's third series of operation in this month alone in its mission to flush out illegal immigrants in Sabah.
According to its director, Sharifah Siti Saleha Habib Yusuf, they were sent back home through the Sandakan port to Zamboanga, Philippines. Prior to this, she noted that illegal immigrants from Indonesia were sent back on the 7th and 9th January. This brought the total number of illegal immigrants sent back to their countries of origin from the year 1990 to 591,482 people. The mission to hunt down the illegals was to help achieve the government's initiative to reduce the number of illegal foreigners in the state. These efforts will be continued with the help of the Immigration Department, Police, Health Department, and various other agencies.
A lavish West Asia restaurant serving Arabic food located in Lebo Chulia in Georgetown was raided by Pulau Pinang Immigration Department last night. 23 foreign workers were detained for various offences under the Immigration Act.
It was like a scene in the movies when the foreign workers tried to evade capture when several immigration personnel entered the restaurant at 9 p.m. last night. Their efforts were in vain when the immigration team had earlier blocked all exits to the restaurant. Diners were also caught off guard during the raid. Pulau Pinang Immigration Director Muhammad Husni Muhammad said public tip-off and surveillance done on the premises for the past week revealed that the restaurant had employed foreign workers without a valid work permit. He said that 23 foreign workers were detained for various offences under the Immigration Act, including not having proper travel documents, working without a permit, and abusing their social visit pass. Muhammad Husni said the detainees, aged between 20 and 45, comprise of 15 Bangladeshi men, 3 Syrian men, 3 Yemeni men, a Pakistani, and an Indonesian woman. The owner of the restaurant, believed to be a foreigner in his 40s, had been directed to appear at the State Immigration Office for his statement to be taken. All those detained were taken to the Juru Detention Depot for further action.
Namely, Malacca, Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, and Kelantan will have 3 points deducted ahead of the Malaysian League or M-League season if they fail to settle the salary areas of their respective players and officials by 31st January.
Football Association of Malaysia, FAM Secretary General Stuart Ramalingam in a statement said additional 6 points would be deducted if any of the 3 teams fail to pay the outstanding debts by the second deadline on 28 February. He stressed that the 3 teams would be disqualified from competing in the M-League should they continue to fail to settle the salary areas by the third deadline, which is 30th March. Stuart also said that even if any of the teams has reached an agreement on settlement of areas with the players or officials involved before the first deadline, 31st January, they would still be subject to the 3-point deduction at any time if they are found to have violated or not paid the players or officials according to the agreed dates. As such, Stuart hopes that the 3 teams would take the matter seriously and to settle the areas by the first deadline, January 31st, if they do not want to lose any points. PDRM and Malacca are competing in the Super League while Kelantan is in the Premier League in the coming season.
Concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, Plus, not for sale and required to reduce toll rates. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening.